Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. You've got to spread joy up to the maximum. Bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my laughing life, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between.
Oh, hello. Doubt and I were just remembering the town's reaction on Pastor Shepherd's teaching on anger.
And boy, did we react.
Oh, was Pastor Shepherd ever angry at us?
Well, it just goes to show you that anyone could fall into a trap.
Yep, Pastor Shepherd was so angry at us that he didn't even realize that he fell into the same trap we did.
You know that scripture he's always talking to us about the birds coming after the seeds and that? Well, we were prime examples of just how fast those birds can come.
Oh, I know. Just on Sunday, we heard the service, and then, bang, on Monday, we're all at each other's throats.
I didn't think Miss Charity had it in her. Did she really say that about Mr. Looney?
Oh, and more. You should have seen Mayor Hope. He just about turned purple.
Oh, thank God Pastor got there at the right time.
Yep, God is good. He's never early, he's never late, he's just on time.
That's it. Well, why don't you just watch now and see just what happened in Faithville on that Monday? And then maybe you won't fall in the same traps that we did.
Came in grumpy this morning.
He doesn't have anything to eat on his table.
All he asked for was a cup of coffee all morning long.
Nothing to eat?
He mustn't be feeling well.
Well, he'd have to be sick in order not to eat anything.
I don't know.
You know what? Maybe I should just go over there and ask him what's wrong. You know me, Mr. Consoler.
Yeah, right.
Oh, really? People like to spill their guts to me.
Ugh. Not a very good picture there, Mr. Cartwright.
Don't worry. I'll have him talking in no time.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Doe. What's wrong with you?
Cartwright, you make like a fly and bug off.
Funny one, Mr. Doe. Yeah.
Isn't there somebody else you can go and bother?
I'm not trying to bother you. I'm just telling you I'm here for you, good buddy. You can tell me anything. You know me. Soul of discretion.
I can tell you anything?
Yeah, anything at all.
Come over here, tell you something.
Okay.
Come here.
Okay.
I don't want anybody else to hear this.
No.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Get lost! Are you crazy? You can wreck an eardrum doing that. Oh.
Well, that's what you get for being nosy.
I wasn't being nosy. I was just concerned.
Well, then I gave you something to be concerned about. Your hearing.
Oh, you are the most miserable person I ever had the displeasure of knowing.
Mr. Consoler.
Mr. Dow, is there anything I can help you with?
Charity, what does a paying customer have to do to have a little peace and quiet and be left alone in your diner?
Well, Mr. Cutright here, he was just trying to help.
Well, you can both help by leaving me alone.
Okay, then I'll leave you alone.
Miss Charity, my coffee's cold.
Oh, well, why didn't you tell me?
I just did.
Oh, okay, I'll get you a fresh cup of coffee.
Boy, is he cranky.
I am not cranky.
You are too.
I am not.
You are too.
I don't have to sit here and take this. I'm going to the diner in the next town. Maybe get some peace and quiet over there.
Ha! Remember what Pastor says. Anger rests in the bosom of a fool. Ow.
Nice going, Mr. Consoler.
Well, there's some people that just can't be consoled.
Well, maybe not, but I'm worried about him.
Why? He's just being himself.
No, when people are angry all the time, it can cause stomach ulcers and all kinds of medical sicknesses, not to mention their spiritual life.
Well, I don't care. He deserves to be sick, the old crankpot. I don't even know why I'm friends with him anyways.
Mr. Cutright, just look at you. Mr. Doubt's anger has made you angry. See how anger can spread? Just like a poison.
No way! I'm not gonna let old meanie poison me.
Oh.
Well, hello, Miss Charity.
Hi.
Mr. Cartwright.
What's so good about it?
Well, the sun is shining, the birds are singing, there's not a cloud in the sky.
What are you, a weatherman now?
Mr. Cartwright, hush up. It is a beautiful day, Mr. Looney. What can I get for you?
I think I'll have the special, Miss Charity.
What else is new? Mr. Cheap always gets the special.
Mr. Cartwright.
Beg you pardon.
Yeah.
Just because a man is wise with his money doesn't make him cheap. And if you would be a little more careful with your money, maybe you wouldn't have to come to my bank for a loan.
Oh, not only are you cheap, but you're a big mouth too.
I resent that remark.
No, you resemble that remark.
Well, excuse me, Miss Charity,
yeah.
but I think the air in here is a little stifling and stiff. I think I'll go eat my lunch at the booth.
Stifling and stale, la-di-da.
That is two, Mr. Consoler.
Hi, Charity. I'm in such a hurry. I've got so much work to do back at the office.
Oh,
Well, you'll have to wait your turn. I was here first.
That's easy for him to be here first. It's what he does instead of work.
How do you know what I do with my days?
I'll be right with you, Miss Evidence.
Well, I hope you're going to finish with my order first.
Ooh.
I don't think it's good practice to serve the demanding customers. What about your loyal paying customers? I think you should pay attention to them first.
Paying. Huh. We all know how you like to pay. And you know what else, too? He doesn't tip. We all know that.
Are you implying that I'm demanding? You have your nerve.
If he holds on to his nerves as tightly as he holds on to his money, he'd have bags of nerves.
Oh, yeah, like coming from a guy like you that sits around all day instead of running his business.
I come in here on a perfectly lovely day to get some lunch, and this is what I have to put up with? Abuse? Charity, I demand service.
There you go. Demanding.
Well, why don't Miss Demanding and Mr. Cheap have lunch together?
Now, wait a minute here, you...
Will everybody please stop? Please stop.
Fine, take everyone else's side.
Oh, Miss Evidence, please just have a seat over there, okay? And I'll get to you as soon as I'm done.
Frankie?
Well, it's not my fault. He pushed me. I want you to arrest him.
He who? I don't see anybody out there.
Oh, sure. Turn a blind eye to crime.
Frankie, nobody's going to turn a blind eye. Now, if someone is responsible for you looking like this, then I'll take care of it. So, how about you tell me exactly how this assault happened?
Okay, well, there I was walking along minding my own business, and I came across this fruit stand, and I thought, well, I'll sample some of the fruit just to make sure this guy's not selling bad fruit in Faithville.
Ah, so just out of the goodness of your heart, you decided that you'd steal some fruit.
I'm offended. I didn't steal. Everyone samples fruit. Anyway, I look up and this guy's yelling his head off at me. So I thought, Frankie, you don't have to take this abuse.
Frankie, what did you do next?
Well, I sort of lost my temper. Just a little. And before I know it, all this fruit goes flying towards this guy's head.
Frankie, you had a temper fit.
I prefer to call it a simple temporary lapse in behavior. And besides, I was provoked.
You know, Frankie, a lot of folk in town have been telling me that for about the last month, you seem to be mighty angry a lot.
Well, is being angry so bad?
Well, according to Proverbs, it can't be. Let me show you something here. In Proverbs 29:22, it says that an angry man stirs up strife, and a hot-tempered one commits many sins.
Well, what sin did I commit?
Well, what would you call throwing fruit at another man's head?
Well, I didn't mean it. That should count for something. I just lost control.
That's what anger does, Frankie. It causes you to go out and do things and say things that you shouldn't do, and that's sin.
I still don't get it.
Okay, listen. You get angry at someone, so you go out and you do something that you shouldn't. Now, that man gets angry at you, so he comes back and he does something that he shouldn't. Now, this goes on and on and on and on. Before you know it, Frankie, you've got a whole lot of sinning going on out there.
Okay, so I need to stop getting angry. But how?
With God, Frankie.
Oh, no, not again.
Yes, Frankie.
Oh, Charity, lovely Charity. I'd like to get a plate of your super delicious fried chicken.
Oh, that is good. You know, Mr. Up, you're like a breath of fresh air around here.
Oh, thank you, Charity. I'm determined to have a wonderful day.
Good.
So how are all you here?
Be quiet!
What's wrong with you guys?
Never you mind, never you mind.
What mind?
Say, Pastor's message on Sunday on anger was really wonderful, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why, I feel like I could take on the whole world, and with a smile.
It was a good teaching there, Mr. Up. One we could all learn from.
Absolutely nothing is gonna make me angry anymore.
Good.
Yes, sirree. I have a whole new outlook on life. As a matter of fact, you could say I'm a changed man. Why, I've got an angle on this anger stuff. Yes, sirree. There's absolutely nothing that's going to make me angry anymore. As a matter of fact, Faithville's going to see a totally new side of Mr. Up. I'm going to have a smiling face and cheerful. Neither rain nor sleet nor hail. Oh, that's the mailman's line. Anyway. Excuse me, I got to go to the little boy here.
Oh.
So, Mr. Perfect is a changed man, is he? Let's just see how changed he is.
He thinks he's so smart. Pastor preached it and now he's got it down pat. Just wants to make the rest of us look bad. Well, we'll just see whether or not Mr. Up is a changed man or not.
That man is completely nuts. What does he think? Running a puny little garage like that is like running a business? I'm a businessman. I certainly have control of my emotions, I think. I'll show him. Mr. Up, how's business? A little stressed?
No, stress? I don't have any stress.
Oh, right. How silly of me. I mean, you need to have business to be stressed.
Well, I have business. What do you mean by that?
Well, I suppose if what you call business is sitting around the diner all day, then yeah, but I suppose you really don't have much else to do anyways.
Are you insinuating something?
Oh, no, Mr. Up. I'm just making an observation. I mean, it is a good thing you're a mechanic, because if you were running this diner, well, you'd eat all your profits.
You just ignore him, Mr. Up.
Hey, Up. Are you finished with my car yet?
Well, you just brought it in this morning. You said you weren't in a hurry for it.
Well, maybe I changed my mind. If you're too busy eating, maybe I'll just send it to another mechanic.
You may just as well take it to another mechanic.
Now, wait just a minute here. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to get angry. I'm a changed man.
Well, why don't you leave and change my tire?
Charity, can you get my lunch ready and send it over?
Mr. Ab, don't listen to them. You know the old saying, misery loves company?
No, I can tell when I'm not wanted. I'm not going to let other people's bad attitude drag me down to sin.
I hope you're all proud of yourself.
Oh, Miss Evidence, what happened? I thought you were just coming over here for a quick bite and then coming right back to the office.
That was what I had intended.
Oh, well then, I guess you're having lunch here.
I do have a lunch break in my contract.
Yes, of course. I didn't mean to imply that you couldn't take a lunch break. I just thought that
You
could...
just thought that I'd rush right over here, shovel down some food, and then hurry back to town hall.
No, not really. That's not what I
That's
thought.
the problem, Mayor. It's just really hard to get good help. Nobody wants to work around here anymore.
Excuse me? I most certainly do want to work. How dare you imply otherwise? You don't know what I'm like as a worker.
I'm sorry. I guess I just didn't think.
Well, that's a fine statement coming from the town's mayor.
Wait just 1 minute. Just because you're mad at Mr. Dowd doesn't mean that you have to take it out on all of us.
Yeah, well, that's rich coming from a barber who likes to sit around the diner all day.
Who asked for your opinion, Mr. Looney Tooney?
Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you.
Oh, you've been working at the mayor's office for what, 4 years now, and that's all you've learned?
Yeah. Maybe we should call a town meeting and elect a new mayor, and maybe a new secretary.
Ooh! I knew you'd be trouble when you came to this town. You're just a banker. Instead of a heart, you have a cash register.
Well, at least I'm not demanding and overly excitable.
Okay. Just a minute here. Mr. Looney, don't you know that Miss Evidence has very strong opinions and feelings?
Now he thinks he's a pastor. Pastor Hope, what a joke.
John would make a wonderful pastor, just like he's a wonderful mayor. And Miss Evidence, she's a wonderful secretary. Just because she's a little overly excited doesn't mean she doesn't do a good job. And
Don't bother trying to explain. I finally found out what you really think about me. Overly emotional, Miss Evidence.
Not any worse than being Miss Happy Waitress all the time.
what are you trying to imply? That I should go around being miserable like you? Or with a bankroll for a brain like someone I know around here?
Well, I'm not surprised by that undeserved attack on my intelligence. And what should I expect from a hash slinger like you?
Now, just a minute, Mr. Looney. Miss Charity is not just a hash slinger. She happens to be the owner, the cook, and the waitress of this fine diner. Wait a minute. You just can't talk to her like that.
I do perceive there could be a problem here.
What, you had to go and get a doctor's degree to figure that one out?
Well, that was uncalled for, Mr. Cutright. Why, Doc here, he's a fine doctor for this area. I mean, Faithville should be glad to have a doctor like him. I mean, it's not every town that can have a doctor that has so much free time on its hands. I mean, big city doctors, they don't have time to do anything. At least Doc here has time to fellowship with everybody here.
Wait a minute, I don't have a lot of extra time. I keep myself pretty busy. I have a lot of patience, you know.
Come on, Doc, I can see it from the front door of my bank. I don't know how you don't become utterly bored with yourself. I mean, your job can't be that fulfilling. But then again, some people like to be a big fish in a little pond. And there might even be a few people in town here that might commend you for your total lack of ambition.
I suppose you became the banker of Faithville because of your total lack of ambition.
Doc, Mr. Looney, I think we've carried this thing a little too far.
Mayor Hope, why do you always use the royal we when you're talking about situations that don't include you? We must try to be reasonable. We must not be rude. When you know full well that you're talking to Doc and Mr. Looney, so why use we?
He thinks he's fooling us into doing what he wants.
That is not true. John is simply too honorable to be pointing fingers at anybody. After all, the mayor is not supposed to be taking sides.
Well, as mayor, he has to remain neutral. I mean, try to remain neutral. How else do you think he gets votes?
So to become mayor, you had to become wishy-washy.
Doc, Mr. Looney.
Oh, now come on, Mayor, don't get so upset. You know, politics is a case of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I mean, you play that game very well.
Get out of my diner right now. Call me a
Hey, hello? What's wrong with all of you? I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. I just get done teaching on anger, and look at all of you. Boy, you're sure right for the picking, aren't you? You know, I'm getting tired of teaching on some things and nobody listening. You know, look at you, a bunch of grown adults acting like a bunch of children. Oh, wait a minute, I take that back. I just went by children on the way here, and they're behaving better than all of you. Well, it didn't take long for you to let Satan get in and rob you, did it?
Oh, I suppose that's just how it's happened to you.
You're right. Look at me, yelling my fool head off because you're all yelling.
Our fool heads off at each other.
We really fell into the trap this time.
How did all this start, anyway?
Oh, we seem to have forgotten.
Wait a minute. Now I remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I suppose you all think this is very funny.
Desserts for everybody on the house.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
All right, you guys. I've thought about it, and now I'm really angry.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Oh, doubt you should have been there.
You know, that Mr. Looney sure does have a sharp tongue for a smooth-talking banker.
Well, that's the problem. We all have a sharp tongue when we're angry.
That's what Pastor meant when he said that anger lies in the bosoms of fools.
Yeah, later, Doc was telling me that a lot of sickness come from angers, too.
You know, it was kind of nice to see you get in trouble this time instead of me.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I wasn't even there. I left before all the excitement. You know, you could say that I was a hearer of the word, not a doer like other people. It's kind of nice being the righteous one for a change.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Righteous One. This was all your fault, so you had just better get off your high horse, because you're the one that instigated it all.
Mr. Righteous, what a statement. Why don't you just admit that I'm better than you are?
The day will never come that I would admit that. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this mess. You know, I wouldn't have had to play the counselor, and, well, everybody in Faithville knows that you're the most miserable person around.
That's it, Adam. Try to blame me for your sin.
I'm no Adam, and you're the sorriest, meanest Eve there ever was.
You're just jealous. Why don't you admit that I'm a better man than you are?
The day would never come that I would admit that.
Those are fighting words, Cutright.
Oh, you want to fight, eh?
I can take care of my anger. I can control my emotions.
Anger? Yes, you were born mad. I'm